That's what it sounds like when your phone is in Portuguese and it tells you that the meeting is being recorded. I don't know if anybody heard that. So I'm going to read this passage. Feel free to start getting comfortable. If it feels okay for you, you can let your eyes come to a close and start to pay attention to what's going on underneath your skin. In Kenji Miyazawa's most famous story, The Night of the Milky Way Railroad, a young boy falls asleep and has a fantastic dream in which he and his best friend ride a very special train through the starry night, encountering a variety of strange and interesting characters and events. Eventually, he realizes that the train is actually carrying souls to another world and discovers that he is the only one on the train with a round-trip ticket. He wakes up from the dream to learn that his best friend has drowned in the river that runs through their town, where a festival has been going. In that river, he sees reflected the river that is the Milky Way, through which he has been traveling in his dream. It's a kind of epiphany, a moment in which the earthly river and the heavenly river, each with the stories of life and death associated with it, are envisioned as one. Then the boy finishes what he set out to do before falling asleep, going to the store to get some milk to take home to his mother. That, in part, is what our practice is trying to achieve. Moments of connectedness that enable us to carry milk home to our mothers. It seeks, in other words, to have us be inspired by a larger vision, one that puts our lives into a perspective and encourages us to live better, perhaps like a lotus plant whose roots sink deeply into the mud of the earth while its blossoms are caressed by the sun. I invite you to take a moment to listen with your ears. It would be quite natural right about now if you were also starting to hear your own internal voice, your thoughts. And that's completely okay. Just trying to balance awareness of what's going on inside your head with awareness of what's going on outside your head, coming through your ears. I'll encourage all of us to now pay attention to gravity and its effect on our body. Perhaps not tensing up so much against it, letting gravity do its work on us. For me, that often means letting myself feel like I'm being pulled to the center of the earth, which I am, by my tailbone. Letting my shoulders drop, letting my face relax, letting my belly soften. Really feeling the outline of my body and its relationship to the space around me. Karen and Patrick, when they spoke a moment ago, both spoke beautiful words, ones that stuck out to me were reignite and trust. So sitting here listening with this body that you're now reacquainting with, you might consider just one single word that you might want to trust or reignite. It could be something as simple as peace, or joy. Could be expired Omnipod. Could be gratitude or friendliness. Whatever word it might be that you're reconnecting with, that you're remembering tonight, let that word be known now. If you had to guess, what does that word feel like in your body from head to toe? What does it feel like in each part of your body? Peace might feel like a coolness, a softness, and an openness, softening. Warmth or joy or love might feel more energetic. Just taking stock and using your imagination. What does this word feel like? Especially in your belly, in your heart, in your throat, and in your head. With this memory of a feeling in your mind and in body, begin to follow this bell into stillness, hearing the beginning, the middle, and the end. Just sitting, allowing the sound to come to you. And when you can no longer hear it through your speakers, just sitting in your room. Like a piece of furniture. But like a piece of furniture that's remembering this one word, this one embodied memory. Following the bell all the way into silence each time. And on an inhale, filling that silence with this one word. And on an exhale, emptying to make room for the silence again. Even if it's just a brief blip in between distraction or some form of very human mental craziness. Even if it's just a brief blip. Really fully feeling and being curious about how this is for your body and welcoming the feeling of this one word. Using your breath. Sit a few moments as if the strength of this memory will impact the rest of your life. And even where you find distraction or murkiness or anything you might not like, seeing if you can turn this very word to meet that experience too. Inhaling to welcome in more of this feeling. Exhaling to allow it to circulate throughout the body. No doubt for many of us, we might feel tripped up again by this time, thought activity. Seeing if you can just soften, allow your thoughts to happen, and turn this word towards your experience of yourself. Let everything else be less important than this word in this moment. Let everything else slip off. It's a kind of epiphany, a moment in which the earthly river and the heavenly river, each with the stories of life and death associated with it, are envisioned as one. Then we finish what we set out to do before falling asleep, going to the store to get some milk to take home to our mothers. And I might also add giving ourselves an appropriate dose of insulin, checking when it's appropriate to care for ourselves. Just so simple. At a moment that feels appropriate for you, I invite you to close your practice in whatever way feels appropriate for you. Maybe soaking up a last second or two, making a wish, beginning with some slow movements and small movements and larger breaths. And when you feel ready, you can also come back with your eyes visually. You can come back to your Zoom camera. And I would love to just popcorn anybody that feels comfortable unmuting right now to just unmute if you feel comfortable and say whatever word it was that you were practicing with. And don't worry about speaking over somebody, and don't worry about silence between words either, because we are welcome to let a word echo for a little bit. I'll start with mine, which was love.
Trust.
Calm. Love.
Mine was also love.
My ancestors.
Graciousness or gracious.
Reconnection.
Togetherness.
Compassion.
Great. Wonderful. It almost feels like a waste to muddy it up any further words, but I do want to invite anybody, if you feel called to say something or to speak about an experience, or for that matter, to talk about something as a group that we need to talk about, feel free to unmute and add anything.
I